What's up, people? We are back with more Sherlock Holmes as we are busy with the fourth case. Is it the fourth one? I think, or is it the fifth? I'm confused. Either way, it's the Kew Gardens drama.
Let's go to the evidence room, Holmes.
And from the autopsy, we figured out that he was poisoned. Some sort of plant poisoning that ultimately killed him. So he said, go to the evidence room. That's where we shall go. This is Dunn's possessions.
This watch is of great value. A beautiful feather pen of a good make.
A club card. City of London Club.
A membership card for the London Crest Club.
Interesting. I have a letter to Mr. F. Wayne, director of Wayne & Sons Printing Company. My friend, your posters for the great exhibitions at Kew Gardens are very beautiful, but it is surely unnecessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient. Montague Dunn. Okay. That's a little bit weird that he either just was a credit hog and didn't want to share it with anyone else, or maybe it was like someone called. I just want to know what Watson says.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Well, you tell me. That's why I came down here. Is it me, or is there smoke coming off of the body? Okay. So yeah, he's either a credit hog or it was just ridiculously long, the staff name list. But there are only at the moment, currently there are 3 people working at the Kew Gardens. That was before he died, so including him that would have been 4. Mrs. White, his son, and then that weird guy with the thick round glasses. We still haven't talked to Mrs. White though, nor have we actually questioned any of the people at Kew Gardens. We've just talked to them. They led me to the exhibition room, and then we investigated, and then we did the autopsy. So there's actually quite a lot that we still have to do. Alright, Mr. Martin Hamish. Doing the best part of this. Myopic, inexpensive glasses. I don't know why, but for some reason I really like doing these character portraits. Dirty collar. Well, it's kind of expected for a person working in something like this, right? In a garden. Unmarried. Huh. Meaning he has a lot of time to spend. Gardener's hands. A lot of time to spend on this work. Empty Colonial room.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the Colonial collection? It seems somewhat depleted.
But, most likely maintenance work, tidying up.
You're not sure, then? But you're the deputy director.
Well, I am busy. I cannot be everywhere at once.
Okay, if that's not a suspicious answer, I don't know what this, but...
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
I'm sure it was, I'm sure.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, it could have been better. You see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens, but it was solely to make an impression. Great pretense that he cared at all. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He would then disappear for the rest of the week. He was what some might call a man of action. I'd say rather he was overzealous and chaotic. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up like that, if you take into consideration his kind of lifestyle.
Lifestyle? I don't know. At the moment, this guy is like prime suspect #1, but that's mainly because we don't even have a #2 yet. So yeah,
you mentioned
the only
that
one on
Mr.
the list.
Dunn led a particular lifestyle.
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed, celebrating, shall we say. He was a member of the London Smart Set. He was famous for it. That
And...
he had an eye for the ladies, to put it mildly, Mr. Holmes.
Oh, who doesn't love them ladies? For some reason, I read this at Lethal Pants and was like, what? Pants can
tell
kill
me,
you now?
Mr. Hamish, do you grow the more deadly variety of plant here?
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Insectivorous? Okay, I don't know what insectivorous is. Alright, can we actually go in here?
Locked.
Of course it's locked.
Colonial collection.
And there's
Nursery.
nursery, seed house, ventilation
system.
Ah, why do I even have to say it? He's gonna say it for me.
Dry tropics. Water lily greenhouse. Palm house. Director's office, cloakroom and laboratory. A map of Kew Gardens.
Anything else? You are here.
Reserve.
Okay, that was a nice quick tour of the place.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Just looking around, you know? Just keep doing what you're doing. Watson, I always have a feeling that he's right behind me, blocking my path. Housekeeping tasks?
A task list for Albert, compiled by Martin Hamish. Sweep out the palm house, scrub the toilets, clean the storage shed tools.
I have a feeling that this Hamish guy is really using Albert as his like bitch boy, commanding him around, do this, do that, letting him do all the dirty work. At times doesn't seem to be anything else, so we'll talk to Albert. Get down from the ladder, son. Red eyes, wept recently, consumed by grief. Shaving cut? Oh yeah, I noticed that earlier as well. A little patch on his clean hands. So he doesn't even have gardener's hands, meaning he doesn't do a lot of gardening around here. Either because he doesn't want to or he's not allowed to.
Who is Miss Margaret White?
And where is she?
Ah, she is the young lady who studies with me. She visits here sometimes to help out with the greenhouses. In fact, she should be here today. She wanted to work at the seed house. That's the small greenhouse across from the large glass house.
Do you work here? No, I just show up around every now and then, sniff the plants.
Do you work here?
Yes, but part-time only, for I'm also studying botany at the University of London.
You're following in your father's footsteps, then. That is commendable.
Well, even if botany is not my strongest suit, there are people who say that I could be a good manager.
We noticed that a part of the Colonial collection has been cleared.
Ah. At the moment, I'm just dealing with the storage room. I don't know much about the other rooms.
No one seems to know about that. Okay, that's kind of suspicious.
I imagine that your relationship with your father may have been a strained one.
Yes. I cannot say that he was a kind man, for he never listened to me at all. He forced me to work here. But now, after his death, I've been pondering it over. Perhaps he wasn't so wrong about me after all. I have to follow his path, and I have to manage Kew Gardens. And I can do it. I can be as good as any other who works here.
Kind of sad that it took his father's death to realize that, but I don't know. Martin Hamish. We hate that dude, right?
Would you please tell us about Martin Hamish, the Deputy Director?
Well, I have to tell you that Mr. Hamish is not and has never been the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. My father would not have tolerated it.
Indeed? Well, that is most interesting. He told us that he was.
Yes, because he believes that the management should be passed down to him now that my father is dead. But in actual fact, Mr. Hamish only has the honour of being the garden's longest-serving employee. In fact, if we are to think logically at all, it should be me who takes over the management of Kew Gardens.
Do you not have a good relationship with Mr. Hamish?
I suppose so. But we have very little in common. Mr. Hamish loves his plants and Kew Gardens, and I cannot say that I share his passion.
I see. And how was his relationship with your father?
Oh, he hated my father. It was obvious. He would be furious whenever my father boasted of Kew Gardens in the newspapers or at conferences. He was convinced that my father was stealing all of the credit for himself. But my father treated Mr. Hamish in the same way as he treated anyone. Dismissively. With indifference.
There seems to be quite a power struggle here with both who want to... Both have kind of reasons for wanting to... The father of the original director of the Kew Gardens to be out of the picture, I guess. Although Martin Hamish seems to be more likely at the moment. But there is a power struggle at the moment with who is going to take over now that Montague Dunn is dead. And yeah, him and Martin Hamish didn't really share the same vision on how to treat the Kew Gardens and all that. So there's definitely some motive for either characters right now, either suspect.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employees' effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Huh?
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Even for... what's it called? A police investigation? That is most suspicious indeed. I don't know, I just like to say that I'm suspicious. Alright, gotta meet Miss White. Dunga 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 bunga bunga. I don't know why people are drumming in the background. That's just the music that we are hearing currently.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Yeah, they had that in the other one too. Nothing on here.
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
This one also has water pH. This is the room that we saw, that we were in earlier. This was here. You read this, the ventilation system. Just gonna go over everything, make sure we haven't missed anything at all. Most likely not. Where would Miss White be?
According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Alright, so that's pretty much everywhere that we went now. Dry tropics. Ooh. Got some cacti here, cactuses. Look at that spiky, glorious. Is it a tree? I don't think it's a tree, is it? Pots.
These flower pots are beautiful. They are intended to be used for exhibition purposes. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Huh. So they get their pots imported? This is a different middle room.
Dry tropics.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Why? I think we should meet Miss White. Where is she?
There is a smell of burning.
Oh, I hadn't actually smelt that. Fireplace. Broken pot.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
But it's a different one from the other symbol as well, but it's not from Kew
A
Gardens
broom
either.
handle was half burned. A
Door handle.
Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the Colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned. A
Gas
protective
mask?
mask. Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. The remains of a picture frame.
Okay, that is really weird. It's like somebody just trying to get rid of evidence, you know? That's what it seems like. And especially the door handle. Because at the Colonial room, if we go back, if it's not too far, okay, it's kind of far. But he fell into the door, right? And it seemed like there was a crack near the door handle. So I was thinking that the door handle, that is like the old door handle that broke off or just was kaput, broken. And it was replaced with a new one, but it's strange that they like put it, unless they're like really bad with that they hate Mother Nature and that they just burn everything that they don't have a use for anymore. But you'd think that. Oh,
Look,
there she
Holmes,
is.
this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Yeah, but you must think that object of interest, didn't we? We checked this before, but nothing of it can't be used yet. But you think that a botanical place like this, or at least something that works with plants, you know, might care a little bit more about Mother Nature, Mother Earth, and would probably recycle everything as well in a proper way. Right, the nursery.
The seeds of plant species are stored here.
Here. Where does this lead? Bust. With the chipped, right?
I am curious if the marble that we found will...
Yes, it will.
Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial collection room is what they have in common.
It's a statue.
It is a bust of Montague Dunn.
So it's definitely someone that
The seeds of plant...
like dislikes Montague Dunn, but at the moment it seems like everyone just dislikes him. Everyone
seed
except
house.
Miss White, but we
Open.
don't know yet. He used like the force to open the door, open, and then he waved his hand. Alright, let us check around here first.
From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial collection room.
Oh, that might be of some importance later on.
Materials for college study. They belong to Albert.
Albert Dunn.
These leather gloves are new and of good quality. They do not appear to have been used. This place serves as Albert's office. A book about ships. Nothing at all to do with plants.
Well, he did say he was kind of forced into this. So it's definitely understandable if he has different just the different things he wants to do with his life rather than what his father wants him to do. I can't find my way without you, Watson. Alright, Miss Margaret White.
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you, too. But...
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White.
She looks so young.
Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kew Gardens. Are you working on a case?
No, I'm interested in plants, woman. What do you think I'm doing here? Expensive perfume? We can smell that all the way from here, apparently. What's that? Rashes? Unmarried? Her hands are red. That's gotta be something. Pink marks. Past malnutrition. Pellagra. Poor family. Oh, wow. I mean, the clothes make her look so old. I originally thought that she would be an old lady, but when we saw her face, she just looks very, very young. So I was quite shocked.
A theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
So, how much are plants worth on the black market? Tell me, girl. You're from a poor family. You probably needed some money, right?
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
She's the only one that says that, though. A truly good man. Okay. So... And why is Watson doing the talking? That's what I don't understand. Normally, I'm always, you know, I as Sherlock Holmes am doing the investigation, questioning the suspects and whatnot. But now, Watson, when he saw the girl, like, psst, Sherlock, let me in on some of this. And I was like, alright, alright.
Would you happen to know why part of the Colonial collection was cleared?
No, I have never been there.
No one has.
Do you work here?
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same classes as the son of Mr. Montague Dunn. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see. It is a great honor.
I see.
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader. I saw him almost as a spiritual father.
He had an exceptional nature?
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active and so optimistic and very nice to me. Although he could behave harshly towards his son.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding. Albert, who is naturally shy, suffered because of it.
Huh. Well, Martin Hamish did say that Montague Dunn was quite the ladies' man, so that might explain the fact that he was only nice to her in the work environment here.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key to this room?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without disturbing him. It is only temporary.
Thank you, miss. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the Colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious.
That is rather obvious, of course. You would think that it would be the person who would be the most influential here, right? Albert Dunn is a nervous and anxious young man, clearly evident by his bitten fingernails. He uses a quantity of detergent with which to clean his hands, which is a poor decision seeing as he handles plants and soil. His eyes are red, he has been weeping recently. His age tells us that he is still at a university. He's good looking, really. If you like the pale Sheldon Cooper kind of look, I guess. He's still looking, alright, unmarried and probably still lives with his mother. Then we have Miss Margaret White. It's a beautiful young lady who appears moderately wealthy. Nevertheless, her hands seem to be marked by tiny brown dots, which could be caused by pellagra, a condition that emerges after a prolonged period of malnutrition. They reveal that her childhood was a poor and unhappy one. However, the signs of wealth that we see now clearly indicate a significant change in her life. Oh. Martin Hamish is unmarried. His hands and nails resemble those of a gardener. They are dirty and swollen. He is short-sighted, wearing bifocals to correct his vision. He is very plain. He works hard to the point of neglecting his appearance, and it is sadly unlikely that he has any female companion. He lives alone. Poor Martin Hamish. We have to do actually a lot of research and ask someone about the statue. But yeah, we're gonna do that in the next video. Things are getting really interesting, especially because we know one person has lied. Maybe more than one. Maybe all three of them are lying. We don't know. We're gonna find out in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Everyone wave goodbye to Miss White. Bye bye. Peace out.